adjourn?
What about reconvene? That sounds good.
Dee, would you like to go first or second this time?
First, please.
Okay.
I just wanted to add that I left briefly to run back to the office to get written confirmation that the fire department is included in the general liability quote and the umbrella. It was a mistake on the proposal on Travelers Inn, and they emailed me and I printed confirmation instead of just saying it. Just wanted to explain that. I didn't have any questions for Mr. Cooper because I really don't think it's my place to pick apart what he's done or pick on what companies he's chosen or the coverages, etc. I'm an informational salesperson, and I feel that I gave the information on the renewal and I gave the information on the traveler's proposal, and I feel like I gave a lot of information. I don't think he did. I think a lot of information is important and needed. When you have a price, you got to be careful what you're buying. But I want to thank you again for the past business we've had, and whatever your decision, I will always appreciate that.
Thank you, Dee, very much.
Thanks, Dee.
Randy's going to go through this. We gave everybody a copy of the spreadsheet, and then I will go after Randy and make a recommendation on what I think is the best plan, best coverage.
First thing we have is the property, and you notice that the Blissman 9 and Travelers have the same limit. Our limit's a little bit lower than theirs, and since there was not any specifications put out, the way we got our information was we went to the current policy and used that information. Also, some of the stuff that normally would be on a property form, for whatever reason, the HCC puts on the inland marine. Things like playground equipment and fencing, we pull that off and we put it over the inland marine. So that's another reason why it might be a little lower. It would probably, if we found out that we needed to add some property's pretty cheap. For yours, it's probably around 10 cents per 100,000. So you're looking, let's say we needed to raise it up to that amount, you're looking at probably less than $500 to do that. The deductibles, Blissman McKnight had a $2,500 deductible. Both Travelers and HCC had a $1,000 deductible, so pretty comfortable there. The earthquake, Blissman McKnight had full limits with it. I couldn't tell if it was either there's a 5 and a 10% there, so I didn't know which deductible they had. But as I think Dee mentioned, that's not a very good way to go. Is a percentage deductible because it's a percentage of the value of the property, not the loss. So you can have a very large deductible on that. Both Travelers and HCC came in with a $5 million limit, but with a flat deductible. Travelers was $25,000, HCC was $50,000. On the flood, same thing. Blissman McKnight didn't have any flood. Travelers had a $5 million limit with a $50,000 or $25,000. HCC had a $5 million with a $50,000. I'm probably going to mention here that flood does not include any property that's located in a floodplain, and that's the same with Travelers and with HCC. Equipment breakdown, that's included in the property form, and the deductible on that matches the property form, which is $1,000. Electronic data processing, looks like Travelers had about $200,000, a little bit less than $200,000. HCC had $250,000 on that, both with a $1,000 deductible. General liability, since Blissman McKnight did not have an umbrella, they tried to compensate for that by having higher limits in their primary. So they came in with $3 million, $6 million, and HCC had a 1 million, 3 million, so that's 1 million per occurrence, 3 million aggregate, and Travelers had a 1 million per occurrence and 2 million aggregate. And then both Travelers and HCC have an umbrella that goes over the top of the liability lines, which I'll get into a little bit in a second. The fire legal liability, we have a $50,000 limit. Travelers looks like a $300,000. However, that's a moot point in that you do not lease any properties from anyone else. Is that correct? So that's what that's for. So that's not really a big deal. As Dee said, that's a throw in. So we can increase it. If you take it off, you don't get any.
Jim, we don't have any lease agreements with anyone.
That's what I think. You guys agree?
Okay. Medical payments, we were the only one that offered any medical payments with general liability. That was a $10,000 limit. I don't think Bliss had any medical payments where you find it if they did. Might take a little bit of time to talk about that. The reason for medical, why you might want to have medical limits in the GL is that if someone slips and falls, and even if you're not negligent, you can pay that claim. Or if you are negligent, you can pay some money up front, and they do not have to prove negligence. It's kind of goodwill insurance. A lot of times that keeps you out of a lawsuit. So if you don't have medical payments, basically you're going to have to say, well, you have to sue us.
What's that one?
That's on the medical payments under the general liability. We have $10,000 limit. So it kind of comes in handy, and it's good for the little old lady who trips on her, just falls down, and you feel sorry for her and you want to do something for them. And you pay her X-rays and so there's $1,000 available for that, or whatever, up to $10,000 per claim. So I think it's a good addition to the policy. And we talked about the liability deductible. We do have a quote without that. If you wanted that, you would still save significant money. So the one we're comparing here does have the deductible of $2,500. Either Bliss or Travelers had that. Employee benefits, all three had a 1 million, 3 million limit with 1,000. I'm sorry. Travelers had 1,000, and we had 1,000, and looks like Bliss had a $2,500 deductible on that. Public officials, that is the coverage that provides insurance for the boards and commissions of the city. And we have, this is where there's a big difference. This is the coverage I was telling you about, that ours is on total occurrence, which is a major plus for our side. Bliss has, and I'm going to back up and talk about ours. Our public officials includes employment practices. Okay, so that's included in there, and that's also on the current basis. The other two proposals have employment practices as a separate coverage, and they're both on claims made. And Travelers is even claims made on your public officials. They have a 1 million, 2 million limit. We have a 1 million limit. We both have $2,500 deductibles. However, Travelers has a $7,500 deductible for your employment practices. So that's 3 times the limit as ACC. Another thing about Travelers athlete on the practices, the defense costs are inside the limit. So whatever they pay for the lawyer, that comes off of that, and you erode your limit for your coverage. Whereas with McKnight on our policy, the defense costs are outside the limit. So if you had $500,000 in attorney's fees, a $1 million claim, then you can make $1.5 million. Travelers, you